Ren from Hallowed Be Thy Game, and today I'm going to share 11 hidden gems for the 3DS. Let's check it out. Welcome back to another episode of Hallowed Be Thy Game, and you knew I couldn't stay away from the 3DS too long, so today I have rounded up 11 more hidden gems that I think everyone needs to be giving a shot. They're just such a blast for me, and I got some here that just do not get the love and respect they deserve, and I cannot wait to talk about them. Anyways, this is part 2 to a series of 3DS hidden gems. A link to that will be found in the description, so if you don't see a game on here that you're like, well, obviously he should be talking about this, I would encourage you to check that out. And yeah, I hope you enjoy, and be sure to let everyone know down in the comments a game that you think everyone should give a shot. And if you enjoy these types of videos, please be sure to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified when I release more hidden gems videos. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, the first game on today's list, I actually put in my top 10 favorite 3DS games of all time, and that is Senran Kagura 2 Deep Crimson. So many people did not know this game existed, and what a shame. Look, is it loaded to the brim with fan service? Look, is it the antithesis of Western game design? You better gosh darn believe it, and it's so absurd and fun. But more importantly, it's really fun to play. It's an action RPG slash 'em, beat 'em up. It's just a total blast. Yes, it's absurd, over the top, but it runs extremely well on the 3DS. And yeah, it's just good, stupid fun, and yeah, that's what I'm about here on the channel. It's not going to take you very long to beat. This is just a great like 20 to 30-ish hour experience, but there is just replay value in the sense that it's just really a good game to turn your brain off to, and you know, it's good time. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. But for any fans of action RPGs and just action games in general, you need to check out Senran Kagura 2 Deep Crimson. The 3DS is kicking it. One of the most criminally underrated games of all time is on the 3DS, and it's Stella Glow. For any fans of the SRPG genre, you gotta check this out. Look, if you love singing, you love anime, you love turn-based games, you know, you love strategy RPGs, Stella Glow is where it's at. It's just so fun, but really is just heartbreaking that this was the last game this studio made, and it's locked to the 3DS, and that's a big shame about a couple of games on today's list, is that, you know, in this era of remasters and ports and stuff to the Switch, there's so many games like Stella Glow and Senran Kagura 2 that just need to kind of break free and be available to modern audiences. But yeah, the 3DS is just king of JRPGs in my humble opinion, and this is a incredible game that everyone should give a shot to play because it's really fun. It's just really sad that this was it, and honestly, if you play this game, it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's so fun, but you know it's the end of this studio. But really, what a way to go out on. It is one of the most beloved yet underrated 3DS JRPGs, and I cannot recommend it enough. Now, for longtime viewers of the channel, you know how insanely cuckoo bananas I am for Super Robot Tyson, OG Saga, Endless Frontier, and Exceed. However, Project Cross Zone, made by the same people who made it, I don't know, maybe you've heard of them, Monolith Soft. Look, this is an SRPG meets action fighting game, okay? With all the hype around Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I couldn't help but demand that people check out the Project Cross Zone series because you get some of the most epic, beloved Capcom fighting game characters mixed with Xenosaga, mixed with Xenoblade, mixed with Fire Emblem, mixed with freaking Phoenix Wright. It's just absurd, but it is so freaking good. Look, a lot of people have kind of completely forgot about the Project Cross Zone series, and to be honest, it's locked to the 3DS, and that's such a shame. So with all this hype and resurgence about Capcom fighting game mix-ups, I think JRPG fans owe themselves just one of the biggest W's they can get this year, and check out the Project Cross Zone series because it is effectively like a fighting rhythm type style game to where you're encouraged to kind of hit enemies in a certain beat and flow, in the sense that you want to juggle them in the air, but then you can have just these absurd call-in and assists. Look, it is so freaking good. The animation and anime aesthetic and art style is through the roof. This game just has the look. It has the feel. It's an SRPG. It's just a good time. And on top of that, there's 2 of them, okay? It's a win-win. I cannot sing this game's praises enough. But yes, Project Cross Zone 1 and 2, both of them are must-plays. They're both must-owns in my opinion. And they're freaking amazing, and they never get the shout-outs they deserve. Obviously, we've been showing love to the Super Robot Tyson and Monolith era here, but yeah, Project Cross Zone 1 and 2, totally check them out. If you're a fan of SRPGs, you're a fan of Capcom, or you just like those wild, unique games that are becoming lost to time, you cannot miss out on these 2 hidden gems. They are GOAT. Now I'm going to be switching it up from my beloved JRPGs and wild and wacky games and shout out Nano Assault. This is kind of a showcase game for the 3D capabilities of the 3DS, and I think as we get further and further away from the 3DS's kind of endpoint, people are beginning to appreciate even more just how the hardware of the 3DS is just such a unique, wild thing that you can't ever emulate on a computer or like, let's say, a Delta app or anything like that. But to be able to play games like Nano Assault on an actual 3DS is just such a unique experience. It can't really be replicated. And what this game does is it is, in a way, a twin-stick shooter. But yeah, you're going to be fighting like a virus that's going and propagating and spreading. It's going wild, and you're effectively a nanobot sent in like this massive threat. It's a really cool premise. The graphics and the playstyle to this are incredible. Look, I may love shmups, but I'm not necessarily excellent at them. And I got through this game with a fun, enjoyable amount of challenge. It's an excellent game to just kind of pick up and go and play. The boss fights are unique. The stages and levels are fresh each time. This is a wonderful experience. It's one of my favorite games on the 3DS. And totally underrated, and I'm afraid being lost to time. Nano Assault, you gotta check it out. Now here recently, I have completed the Ultra Mega Marathon of completing the One Piece series. Now, One Piece Romance Dawn, absolute hidden gem JRPG on the 3DS. Now, this is going to be kind of a compilation of a lot of stories that you're going to be able to zoom through. So, is this going to be an effective way to kind of catch up on One Piece? Not really, but what it is a very fun and serviceable JRPG that you're going to be able to have some gorgeous animation. The graphics in this, I think, look astounding. I love it so much. Yes, I am a mega fan of One Piece now. I'm just crazy about it. However, I don't believe you have to be a mega fan of One Piece to enjoy this, because really when I first got into this game, I didn't really know anything about the series other than I love JRPGs and I love the 3DS. And I think this is just such an incredible kind of a hidden part of the 3DS's library that while One Piece may be super famous, I think it's gotten lost in the shuffle. And it's definitely one to give a shot if you're looking for something very different on the 3DS. Now moving on, we're going to be switching it up with Fantasy Life. This is a game that I was very much late to, but a lot of people kept just shouting this game out, and I'm so happy they did. This game is absolutely brimming with charm. There's so much immersion and just kind of self-insert you can do in this game to where you can just have your own different roles that you can pick in this game, and to be able to just have hundreds of hours of fun in this game. It is deep, and it's definitely, if this is a game for you, this is going to be your game. You're going to find yourself wanting more and more of this, and really Fantasy Life is just a quintessential 3DS title that you need to give a shot for. Not a lot of people have really dived into it, but the people who have are ardent defenders of it, and they should be, because this is such a charming, wonderful game. The art style just pops on the 3DS. The combat and gameplay is so fun and addicting. The gameplay loop in this will definitely keep you coming back, but the immersion, for those of you who might really love, let's say, Animal Crossing, just being able to dive into a game, or even fans of MMOs, I would highly suggest you check this out. But just be prepared that if it's for you, you're going to be losing a lot of time. Now, Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology is a game that I've not necessarily been shy about the fact that I love it so much. However, This is a game that has effectively been locked to the DS and the 3DS. And my only concern is that it's really fading away to time. And so many people may have heard about this game, but they've never tried it. And it's absolutely, this might be bordering on the underrated category and not so hidden, because a lot of people I think have kind of shouted this game out, but it's really just locked in the past, unfortunately. And that's a crying shame, because Radiant Historia is a top 10 favorite game of all time for me. It's my favorite Nintendo 3DS game. However, so many people have never really pulled the trigger on giving it a shot. Look, this is one of the most masterful turn-based JRPGs I've ever played. The combat system is unique, addicting. It makes you feel smarter than you really are, which is always good for me. But on top of that, you just have these real, well-written characters that are going on a very intricate yet well-written story. It is the best use of time travel I've ever seen in a video game, from a story aspect, but also a gameplay aspect as well. You're going to be effectively having a magical book, for keeping it simple, that's going to allow you to time travel. And you're going to be able to go back, intervene, and change things about the past at any point in the game. It is wonderful to be able to revisit these key moments, to be able to try something different, to get different endings, but effectively it always encourages you to never feel like you've made a mistake. So, because in so many games today where you hear that there might be multiple endings or a true ending, it's like, oh, do I want to look at a guide to make sure I don't have to play this game 3 or 4 times? No. Radiant Historia, that's effectively the gameplay loop to where you're trying to sift out and find the perfect outcome. And it's always rewarding, always encouraging, and the story characters, I just cannot get it enough, and I can't recommend it to you enough. It's a game that needs to be brought back and introduced to so many others, but hey, that's the beauty of the 3DS, we get to play it still. Coming up on the end of today's list, I have to shout out Heroes of Ruin. This is a phenomenal game. I believe it's from Square Enix, but for anybody who's a fan of, like, let's say Path of Exile or Diablo, or just those top-down isometric dungeon crawlers, it is right up your alley. It is a phenomenal game. It's very simple, however, it just plays wonderfully on the Switch. It looks gorgeous. The animations, the gameplay, it is absolutely banging. But it's a game that I think stayed at such a low price for so long because so many people just did not know about it. However, Heroes of Ruin, for anybody who's a fan of your dungeon crawling experience, this is a must play. It is fantastic. Hidden gem, check it out. And to round out the last 2 spots on today's list, yes, it's another SRPG. However, it is one of the most brilliant melding of the SRPG genre and turn-based combat I've ever played. It's my favorite SRPG games ever, and that is Devil Survivor 1 Overclocked and Devil Survivor 2 Record Breaker. Yes, these are enhanced DS ports, but these are the definitive ways to play them. Absolutely gorgeous. For anyone who's a fan of Persona, and as of the making of this video, SMT5 Vengeance has come out, so anybody who might be new into that and is really loving the press turn battle system, the goated press turn battle system, you gotta give the Devil Survivor series a shot. There is a reason there are such like hardcore fans for the Devil Survivor games. Effectively, you're going to have a brilliant melding of being able to collect these demons and be able to customize your own party. So effectively, both games follow a rather similar storyline, but the tones of them are a little different. The first one is a very dark, vicious, gritty story that is just pretty haunting and can be pretty disturbing, so just be aware. It's a very grim game. However, you're going to try to get your entire party to live or survive through the events of the game. As you're progressing through the levels, yes, you're going to have a SRPG combat battlefield. However, while you're out of combat, you're going to be able to recruit these demons for your devil summoners. That's what your party consists of. So you can effectively equip them with a group of demons to be able to complement their gameplay style. Maybe you have somebody more focused on fire and magic damage, or somebody more focused on buffing or healing, or somebody more focused on physical damage. But with that, you're going to be able to outfit your entire party and just progress through this game. It is such a rewarding gameplay loop. However, the story is very engaging. The characters are wild and unique. That art style is one of my favorite in all of gaming. It's just so fan-freaking-tastic. It's so good. The second game, while definitely still dark and dire, and your party members can still die based on your decisions or how you handle certain situations, so yes, very high stakes, there is effectively a much lighter, kind of almost Persona type feel to the second game, which makes it a little easier to kind of get into if you're not really wanting something too dark or heavy. However, both of these games are iconic to me. They are effectively locked to the DS and the 3DS, and it's a crying shame. I really hope that more fans can be introduced to this series so that we can get a Devil Survivor 3, because yes, that's my ultimate kind of evil master plan here, is to get people hyped for the Devil Survivor series, because it deserves to come back and it deserves to have a very wild, rabid fan base of new people coming in. Look, Devil Survivor, it is a phenomenal game. I cannot sing their praises enough. You absolutely need to check them out, and if you're a Persona, SMT, or an SRPG fan, you gotta do yourself the biggest favor and play these games. And with that, those are 11 hidden gems for the 3DS that I believe everyone should be giving their attention to. But this is just part 2, so if there is a game not on here that you think should be, check out the first video in the series. It'll be linked in the description. But definitely share in the comments a game you believe everyone should be giving a shot that no one seems to talk about for the 3DS. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for more Nintendo 3DS content. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time.